Hey everyone, it's BrowncoatNerd. This time we have a CZ82/83 magazine review. The reason I wanted to do this, a lot of 83s and 82s have been coming on the market, and I've seen several websites selling a magazine advertised as a brand new CZ magazine, and well, we're going to have a lot of issues with that. But real quick, I did want to speak on this particular 83 real quick as kind of a part 2 to my first review video. My first review video, I said that this had a polygonal barrel. The 82s, which were chambered at 9x18 Makarov, those had a polygonal barrel. One of the things that they changed for the civilian version, which was this, the 83, was adding a standard rifling barrel. So one of the things that kind of bugged me in the first video was, what in the heck are the differences between an 83 chambered at 9x18 Makarov and an 82, other than the absence of the lanyard loop, which recently I've actually seen some 83s that do have a lanyard loop, so I'm not sure if that's true across the board. But the other thing would be the barrel. So if you had an 83 or an 82 in front of you, both chambered at 9x18 Makarov, I'd definitely go for the 82. You might have a crappier finish, but the barrel quality with it being polygonal is going to be a little bit better. Not that the standard barrels are junk, because CZ is no slouch on their barrel quality. But anyways, so that's my little rant about that. And the other thing too, since I've done my first review video, I got a trigger pull gauge. So just in case you're curious, the double action average trigger pull was 5 pounds 14 ounces, while the single action trigger pull was 3 pounds 2.8 ounces. And it's been a while since I've taken this gun out to shoot. Let me tell you, I forgot how nice this thing was. I wanted to take it and kind of run these magazines to make sure what my kind of was predicting was indeed true. And this was just really comfortable to shoot, fun to shoot, and pretty darn accurate too. I was really happy with my groupings. But anyway, so on to the magazines. Now, I've got 3 magazines in front of you here. The first one is the magazine that actually came with the gun. The second one is one that I purchased that was being sold under the description as military surplus. And this last one here is one that I purchased from Classic Firearms, and many other retailers are carrying this right now, that they're advertising as brand new CZ manufacture. Now right away you can tell that there's one big difference, and that's the little, I don't know if you call that a reinforcing rib here on these 2 magazines. It's just on this side. Oh no, never mind, I thought it was just on one side. It's on both sides, and this mag has it on neither side. So warning sign number 1. The other crazy thing about this is actually marked manufactured CZ on the base plate. The used surplus one just has a number on it, and the original one that came with the gun has absolutely nothing on it. So if you see one that actually says manufactured CZ, indeed it is not. So that's a really easy way. A lot of times when they're selling these mags, they'll offer several pictures. That's a dead giveaway. The absence of this little reinforcing rib right here is a dead giveaway. The other thing is the seams they did not clean up. They left those. Whereas on the surplus and the original, you can see they cleaned them up both the front and the back. In this one, you can still see the seams in there. Right away, I knew I was going to have issues with this magazine. The first time I loaded it, I could not even load all 12 rounds. So the follower got all, tilted in there and everything. I was like, all right, well, maybe it's just a new mag. Loaded it up, unloaded it several times, and I could just tell this thing, the quality, there's no way in hell CZ made this. The follower feels just really cheap. The spring, you can tell, is crappy. This thing is sharp. it's garbage. So I was like, well, these CZ mags aren't the easiest, to come across. So maybe it'll be worth it. And I think I bought this one on sale for like 15 bucks. I checked the website today. Both AIM Surplus and Classic Firearms are selling these for $20. And so, okay, maybe it's just a crappy magazine, but how does it work? How does it function? So today was the first chance I got to go out and shoot it with the new magazine. Both of these magazines actually were the first time I got to use them today. I initially went out with 100 rounds. Guys, I'm an idiot. Because if you watch my first video on the CZ, you'll know that it did not like the Fiocchi or Fiocchi, however you pronounce it, ammo. I had purchased another box since making that video. The first box I think I bought online. The second box I bought at a local retailer just to see if I had a bad batch. And a while ago, I took it out to the range and it would not chamber any of the ammo. So this morning when I was getting ready, I was like, oh, I've got 2 boxes of 380. I had a box of Monarch, which is Academy Sports kind of branded ammo. I'm pretty sure it's just PPU. It's PPU brass at the very least. And then I saw the Fiocchi, and for some reason I was thinking my Beretta 85 was the one that did not like the Fiocchi. And yeah, so I only ended up was able to use 50 rounds. Plus I had already loaded up the mags with some of the Monarch / PPU ammo before leaving. So I was short 50 rounds of what I was hoping to shoot. This mag, the original that came with the gun, I've shot it quite a bit, so I knew it worked. I really just kind of wanted to test out this used military surplus mag to see what kind of condition it was in and how it held up, as well as this mag, which I have very little faith for. So I apologize. I wish I could have gone out there with more than just the 50 rounds. That's what it ended up being. So anyways, so when I first got this magazine here, my original mag, it slides in and out of the gun just fine, drops free. This guy just kept getting hung up. And I don't know exactly what needed to be worked on or what, but I just, slid it in and slid it out several times. It would not even drop free originally. And after just, less than 10 times doing that, all of a sudden it was going in and out just fine. So I don't know if there's like some gunk built up underneath the follower and it was giving a little bit of resistance for what was going on there. So that already immediately worried me about this magazine. Taking this mag out, I had absolutely no issues with it whatsoever. So I was very happy with that. It's kind of what I expected though. Should point out too, this does have the original CZ or Czech Republic little stamping there. So this one was in the military. And one thing I did not notice on my original mag until after I received this one, it looks like this had that stamping as well. You can kind of see the very tops maybe where the 2 points of the sword were. It might have been another proof mark from some other country because I honestly have no clue what country this gun was in service in. When I purchased it, all it was labeled as was used police gun. So supposedly it was used by a police force somewhere. And it does have that marking, almost looks like an eagle. So I didn't know if this was Czech police or another country police, but someone out there might know. But that mark on the mag definitely looks like it would have been the cross swords there, but they kind of drilled it out for whatever reason. So I thought that was just I didn't realize I was actually marking out a proof mark when I first got this gun until this mag showed up. One of the kind of cool things is the coloring almost matches the satin finish there, so yeah, I know, I'm a nerd. And I was actually kind of hoping for some kind of a rack number or something on the bottom of that mag. So this one worked, no issues. I can't exactly remember how many mags were in through it, obviously less than I wanted to. But the main thing was I wanted to concentrate on this mag. My very first time running this mag, and this mag when I put it in, from the get-go, went in and out of the gun very easily, dropped free very easily immediately when I first got the gun. So that was kind of, hopeful. Loaded up. I will note that the entire time I was at the range today loading this mag, I never had any more issues with the follower tilting on me and getting stuck while I was loading it. The last time that happened, it got stuck down here, and I kind of just shook out some of the rounds and banged it, and the follower popped up. So yeah, that was a bad sign right away with this mag. So the very first magazine I shot through this gun with this mag, no issues. I was like, okay, cool, you know. Maybe it just feels crappy, but it works just fine. You know, shot a few more mags of that and started shooting this again, but I started to get failures to feed. At first, it was like the very next mag, like the second or third to last round. I got a failure to feed. And then after that, it was like every third or fourth round. It seemed like it was getting worse and worse. So it's like the follower is getting caught up on something and it's not pushing the bullets up quick enough. Also, one thing I noticed is almost every time I'd go to reload this magazine, this follower here, it would almost be kind of stuck out over that lower notch right there. So you'd have to kind of push in on the follower a little bit before it could go down. So obviously, I don't know, maybe if I take this out, there might be, you know, chunks of plastic sticking out the side causing there to be friction issues. But like I said, it just kept getting worse as I went on. And like I said, I only had 50 rounds for the two mags. I did shoot more through this mag because like I said, this was, you know, I definitely had my suspicions about it. And from what I saw, it turned out to be true. Sorry, it's kind of a crappy review only being able to do 50 rounds through it. But I only got through one magazine without a failure to feed. And it was the exact same issue every time. It was a failure to feed. So, like I said, they're selling these now for 20 bucks. Do you want a mag that you're really rolling the dice on it functioning properly? And most likely, what you're going to get down the road is a magazine that you're not even going to be able to get through a full mag without having a malfunction for 20 bucks. Even if they're on sale for 15, which is what I think I paid for this when I got it. Liberty Tree Collectors is where I got this one from, and it was $24. So yeah, it's used surplus, but just handling these two, like the finish, you can just tell this feels so much better than the Parkerization or whatever they put on this gun. Not to mention this is properly, you know, a proper CZ magazine. $4 more over the standard price, and even if these, like I said, were on sale for 15, you know, spend the extra money and get the used surplus. Plus, if you're like me, you know, these rack numbers and stuff, that's just kind of a cool added heritage to the gun. Just stay away from these mags. I'm still kind of irritated still at this point that these big websites have not fixed their wording on this. This issue's been known for a while. This is not the first video on these magazines. I think it was the AIM surplus site I went to just today, seeing if they still had them in stock. And I noticed they took down, like, normally they have like several rotation pictures in the bottom and the top and stuff. They just had like the one side profile picture. I think people are finally starting to catch on to, you know, that mark and the visible seams, that these are the garbage mags. And for that price, they are absolutely just not worth it. If for some reason you have a CZ 82 or 83 and have no mag whatsoever and absolutely can't find one, this still isn't a good choice. I'll just load them one by one. So I just wanted to make this video to get this out there, so any of you guys out there that have an 82 or an 83 are aware of these bogus, phony magazines. Garbage. Go with the originals. Get a used surplus if you have to. Yeah. Also, one other thing I wanted to point out. Oh, almost forgot. There are some surplus magazines that have an aluminum floor plate, and it's kind of a little bit thicker, and typically what I've seen is those will come with the satin finish ones, because it always seems to have a satin finish base plate on them. I came across and those look really nice, kind of adds a little more onto the grip if you needed that. But I came across a video of a guy that had purchased one, and that base plate actually made it a little bit too thick for the gun excuse me, sorry guys, to seat into the CZ properly. So his options were either, you know, file off some of the base plate or make this little stop here, you know, lift it up a little bit by filing it down. Now his worry was obviously the magazine's going to sit in there a little bit lower once you do that and it catches. So he went ahead and did it. He didn't take very much off, was able to get the mags to lock in really nice and tight. And he had some dummy rounds, and he ran them through, and everything seemed to be functioning fine. It seemed to pick up those rounds just fine. So just in case you guys come across one of those mags and grab it and you're like, holy crap, it's not working, just take barely just a little bit off right there. Go find his video. You know, there's not too many videos on these magazines. So there is a fix for those as well. All right, guys, I appreciate you watching. If you like this video or my other videos, please like it and subscribe. All right, stay shiny. Have a good day.